page, I have to go back. I'm in the wrong book, so that would explain why it's not the right page. Okay, so we had 22, 24, 26 and 28. So 22, 24, 26, 28. Right, does anyone need me to do 22? Did you get the right answer? Did you check your answers? Yeah. Did everyone get the right answer for 22? 24? What's the answer for 22? X is 6. 24, what did you get? What you get, Kayla?
I got X is 3.
X is 3 for 24. Agree? No. Right, okay. So 24. 5 bracket X minus 5 equals 3 bracket X plus 1. Right, Kayla, will you write the first line?
5 bracket X is 5X.
Yeah.
5 minus 5 is minus 25.
Good girl. Over this side.
3 minus 5X is 3X.
Yeah.
3 minus 5 is 2.
Very good. Right. Now build a wall. X is on one side, numbers on the other. So is 5X where you want it to be?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is minus 25 where you want it to be?
No.
No. Is 3X where you want it to be?
No.
No. Is 3 where you want it to be?
Yeah.
Yeah. So bring over the minus 25, what happens?
Plus 25.
And bring the 3X back the other way and becomes
Minus 3X.
minus 3X. So if you have 5 X's and you take away 3 of them, what are you left with?
2X.
2X. And I don't know why I wrote 28 because that was 25. Now 3 plus 25 is what?
28.
28. And then you divide each side by
2.
2. And you end up with X is
14.
14. Okay. 26. What's the answer to 26? Tori, did you get an answer for 26? X is 21. Is that what you said?
No, for 26, I got X equals 10.
10. X equals 10. Agree? Anyone disagree? Right, 28. I might as well do 28 just to make sure we can do them. So we have 3 bracket X minus 2 equals 5X minus 12. Right, Medicine, call out the next line for me.
3X.
Yeah. Very good. Equals 5X minus 12. You don't have to do anything over there. Call out the next line, Medicine. X is one side, numbers in the other. And you move the minus 6. Yeah, very good. Minus 12 is over here. So move the minus 6 over, becomes a plus 6, and move the 5X the other way and becomes a minus 5X. So 3X, take away 5X is minus 2X. And here minus 12 plus 6 would be minus 6, and then you divide each side by minus 2 because that's what's stuck to the X, and you end up with X is equal to plus 3. Is that okay? Who got it right? Good? Right, good, excellent. Right, okay. Then we went on to some of the word equations on the next page. How did you find these? They're hard enough, aren't they? Did you find them hard? Or did you find them easy? So, number 1, I'm going to do these out. So number 1, part 1. I think of a number, so what do you always call the number? X. So I think of a number, so call the number X. When I multiply it by 3, multiply that number by 3, what did I get? 3x. Then I add 2, so how will I do that? Add 2, I just go plus 2, and the answer is 17. Equal to 17. Is that okay? Then you, just like before, build your wall, numbers on one side, x's on one side, numbers on the other. So leave the 3x, right? Okay, the plus 2 comes over and becomes a minus 2. So you get 3x is equal to 2. What am I saying? 15. And then what I do now, divide each side by 3, and you end up with x equals 5. So that's your answer.
Sorry, our class has some spare ordinary level maths books for second year. Does anybody want them?
Does anybody need an ordinary level maths book? You all have books? Miss Punch has, or is it Miss Punch? No, Miss Knark has another second year ordinary class.
Okay, so
She has a few.
where's the room?
Where would Miss Knark be, girls? Do you know? Where are your rooms? Upstairs by the bathrooms.
Room 8.
Say that again.
Room 8.
Room 8. So I'd say room 7, 8, kind of around there. Okay? Right. Okay, that's number 1. Right, part 1. Yeah, this is my life today. If I move some of the books, like, it would be okay, like, but sure that would be the sensible thing to do. Right, okay, number 1 part 2. So number 1 part 2 says, I think of a number. What do I call the number? X. And then it says, I multiply it by 4, so 4x. Then I add 1, so how will I do that? Plus 1, and the answer is 13. Equals 13. You all see how it's done. Okay, don't read the whole sentence together, because you'll wreck your own head, right? Read it one bit at a time, like I did. See how I did it? Right, build a wall. What's the next line read there, Sienna?
4.
Yeah,
13.
yeah, excellent. So that would be 4x would be equal to what? 12. And then you divide each side by 4. And you find out that x equals 3. Very good. Okay, right. So that was part 2. Part 3 is next. So I think of a number. What do I write down? X. I multiply the number by 3. 3x. Then I subtract 4. Minus 4. And the answer is the same as twice the number. Now they're saying the answer is the same as twice the number. So what was the number that you thought of to start with? X. So what's twice the number? 2x. So the answer is equal to twice the number. So it's equal to 2x. Is that okay? Right. What is the number? X is on one side, numbers on the other. Build your wall. Leave 3x. Move minus 4, move 2x, so the 2x comes this way, becomes minus 2x, and the minus 4 goes this way and becomes a plus 4. And 3x minus 2x is x, so x equals 4. Is that okay? Then part 4, okay, so it says I think of a number. Think of a number, what do I write down? X. Then I add 2 plus 2 and I multiply the answer by 4. Now I can't just multiply the x bit by 4, I have to multiply the whole lot by 4. So, yeah, so put it in brackets and put a 4 outside it. Do you all see that? Do you all see how I got that? Yeah, the result is 20. I'll do it so equals 20, right? Multiply out there for me, Kate.
4
Yeah,
plus 8
yeah,
equals 20.
very good. So then,
Move the 8 to the
yeah, so 4x stays put, 20 stays put, and the 8 comes over and becomes a what?
minus 8,
Minus 8. So you get 4x is equal to
12,
12. Then you divide each side by
4,
4, squashing it in there, sorry. Okay, and you end up with x is equal to 12 divided by 4 is 3. Is that okay? Right, and I gave you number 2 as well, didn't I? Okay, so on the next page, number 2, I think if I multiply a number by 4, what would that be? Multiply a number by 4, what would that be? Anyone? Please?
4.
Thank you. 4x. So get a number, multiply by 4, you get 4x. Then I add 3, so I'll write that down. Plus 3. The result is, how will I write that? The same as adding 8 to 3 times the number. So what would 3 times the number be? 3x, wouldn't it? And then you have to add 8 to it. So how will I do that? Plus 8. Did anyone get that equation right? Good. Right, okay. Build your wall. X is on one side, numbers on the other. So leave the 4x. Move the plus 3. Move the 3x. Leave the 8. So the plus 3 comes over and becomes a minus 3. The 3x goes the other way, becomes a minus 3x. And 4x minus 3x is x. So x is equal to 5. Is that okay? It is, miss, that's brilliant. Right, okay, I'm going to leave this section now, and the reason I'm going to leave this section is I'm happy for you to get the easy ones in this section. They get very hard after this. Okay, but in second year, if you get the basics from each section, you've come a long way. So I think, were you able to do question 1? Question 1, you know the 4 parts of question 1? Were you able to do them? Everyone? Sienna? Yeah. Tori? Madison? Hannah? Kate? Kayla? And Keela? Yeah. Okay. Right, so I'm happy for you to get the basics. Right, okay. Now, the next bit is division in algebra. Okay, so before I even attempt to do division in algebra, I have to remind you of your long division from primary school. Okay, so if I have, so long division from primary school, now I know you would just do it on your calculator, okay, right, but I want you to learn the method, okay, I'll remind you of the method. You learned how to do it in primary school, so you needn't write this down, you just need to listen, okay. So if I have 253 divided by 23, okay, I might do it out in bigger writing. So if I have 253, remember the long division, you did it like that, divided by 23. Is that right? Do you remember long division from primary school? A little bit. Will someone please speak? Yes? No? Everyone has to say a word. You have to say yes or no. I'll ask you all individually. Tori, do you remember long division? Kind of. Sienna, do you remember it? Yeah. Madison? Kind of. Hannah? Kind of. Kate? Yeah. Kayla? No. Keelan? Kind of. Yeah. Okay. So, you know the way in long division you went 23, so you took the whole number and you divided it into the first number. So you go 23 divided into 2. Does that go? Sure doesn't. So then you divide it into the next two numbers. So you go 23 into 25 goes what? Once, doesn't it? What will I do now? You multiply. So you go 1 by 23 is 23 and you put it down here. Anyone remember what you do now? You subtract. Okay, so you 25 take away 23 will give me 2. What will I do now? Bring down the 3 and you go 23 into 23 goes once. Then you multiply. 1 by 23 is 23 and you subtract, and 23 gives me no remainder. Vaguely familiar? Okay, right. What I'll do now is I'll do another one. You need to write these down now. And I know you can do these on the calculator, but it's just we're going to be doing all this with x's in a minute. And you can't do that on the calculator. So we need to learn the method, remind you of the method. So if I have 792 divided by 22, okay? So what's the first thing I do? I say 22 into 7. Doesn't go, sure doesn't. 22 into 79, right? It will go, I'll say it'll go 3 times, right? I'll tell you that bit. It'll go 3 times. So you put up your 3. What's your next step? You multiply. So you go 3 by 22 is 66. So what's the next step? Subtract. So 6 from 9, that leaves 3, and 6 from 7 leaves 1. Right? What I do now, what's my next step? Bring down to the 2. So I have 22 into 132, and I'll tell you it'll go 6 times. So what's the next step? Multiply, isn't it? So 6 is 132. What's the next step? Subtract. 132, take away 132 gives me 0. So that means there's 0 remainder. Okay? Right? So I'm going to do one more of those just to remind you what the steps are. As I say, you needn't take these down because you can do these in your calculator. Okay, I'm just getting numbers off my calculator. So, so 1170 divided by 18. Okay, actually, I'm going to go bigger than that. $18 multiplied by
Sorry, did I leave my pencil case in here?
I don't know, have a look. No bother. Right, I'm going to change that to 2232. Okay, so it's 2232 divided by 18. So 18 into 2 does not go. Then you go 18 into 22. How many times did that go? Once. What's the next step? You multiply. 1 by 18 gives me 18. What's my next step? Subtract. So 22 take away 18 is 4. Then what's my next step? Bring down the 3. So then I have 18 into 43. How many times does that go? It goes twice, doesn't it? So 2 times 18 is 36. Subtract. You get 7, then you bring down the 2, and then you do 18 into 72 will go 4 times, and then you multiply 4 by 18 is 72, and then you subtract. Okay, right, we have to do this with algebra now, so it's important that you know the steps. Okay, so I know you can do the numbers on the calculator, and that's brilliant, because why would you do out a long division if you have a calculator? Okay, steps: you divide, then you multiply, then you subtract, and then you bring down the next term. So bring down next term. Now it might take a day or two to get a handle on these, but you need to try really hard. Okay, I should have given you the heading, so you needn't write that, don't write that, just write over here. So the heading is algebraic Right, okay, are we ready? So this is an example from algebra. Example 1. So it's divide x squared plus x minus 12 by x minus 3. Is that okay? So pens down now and watch me. Right, okay? So here are my steps. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring out down the next term. Okay? So what I do is I set up my long division sign. So I write down x squared plus x minus 12. I want to divide that by x minus 3. Okay? Right. So you have to divide, you take the first term here and you divide it into first term. So x into x squared. So x multiplied by a number gives me x squared. So x multiplied by what will give me x squared? X multiplied by 2 will give me 2x. X multiplied by something will give me x squared. What's x multiplied by x? What's x multiplied by x? X squared. Right? Okay? So if x multiplied by x is x squared, that means x squared divided by x is what? Look, if 3 multiplied by 5 will give me 15, wouldn't it? So what's 15 divided by 5? 3. What's 15 divided by 3? So what's x squared divided by x? X, isn't it? Okay, so put the x up here over the x's, right? So now I've done my divide step. What's my multiply step? So you multiply x by x is x squared, x by minus 3 is minus 3x. What I do now? What's the next step? Subtract. So you make that a minus. To subtract, you change the sign. So that becomes a minus, that becomes a plus. They cancel. You end up with 4x minus 12, and you've x into 4x then. Do you know, I'm going to abandon this method because I think I might as well be talking Japanese to you. Would you agree? Are you all totally lost? Please be honest. Yeah. Okay. Right. We're going to forget all that. Just ignore all that 1 minute. Okay. This is a different method to do it. I think it might work better for you. So, you know, the last 20 minutes, pretend I didn't speak. Right? Okay. So, you know, if I asked you to multiply x plus 4, multiply out brackets, multiply by x plus 3. Okay, how would you multiply out those brackets? This is going back to a section we did earlier in the chapter. How would you multiply out the brackets? So you'd split up the first bracket, wouldn't you? And you'd go x times what? X plus 3. And then you'd have, tell me what the next bit would be. Plus 4 times x plus 3. And then you'd multiply out what you get. Oh, I can't cope. Will someone speak? And it's not just Keelan. Girls, there's more of you in the room and you're not speaking. It's really frustrating. Really. Even if you had to say, I haven't a clue what you're talking about, at least you're acknowledging I'm sitting here. But the way it is at the moment is I'm just staring down at people who are staring back at me and no one's speaking. It is so annoying. So if you don't know what the hell I'm going on about, just say it. But say something. I can't take the silence anymore. Multiply into that bracket. X squared, thank you. Plus 3x. Keep going, multiply it into this bracket. Plus 4x plus 12. And then you put the like terms together, so the like terms are in the middle. So you have 3x and 4x will make 7x, won't they? And then you have a plus 12 at the end. Okay, we've done multiplying out brackets, okay, and that's what you did. I'm going to show you a different way to multiply out brackets because, right, we're going to use that way to do the division in a minute, okay? So what you do is, if you're really artistic like me and you draw a window, do you ever draw a window and act like this? You're probably really artistic, some of you, and you definitely wouldn't do this, but you know if you're drawing a house, would you draw a window like that? I would. I'm not a good drawer, right? Did you ever do that in primary school? Yeah? Again, you're not speaking again. Did you ever do that in primary school? Right, okay. So if I want to multiply x plus 4, I write the x plus 4 up here. And I want to multiply it by x plus 3 down here. Okay? So I haven't done the division yet. We're learning this method and then I'll go back to the division. So I have x by x. What's x by x? X squared. So put the answer. So you multiply what's at the side of the windows by each other and you add your answers. And you put your answer in the window. So then you go on, what am I multiplying to get the answer in here? What am I multiplying? X by 4. So what will I get? Plus 4x, won't I? Okay, in this little window here, what am I multiplying? Plus 3 by x, what's the answer? Plus 3x. And then I'm doing plus 3 by plus 4, which would be plus 12, wouldn't it? Okay, so then your answer is, you just add up all the little windows. And you have x squared plus 7x plus 12. Is that okay? Are you okay? Same as what I got over here. Okay, so it's just a new method for multiplying it out, and I want you to learn it because I'm going to use it to do the division in a while. Okay, so will you do me a favor? Would you be able to start this one? I want you to multiply, so I'm going to draw the window for you. I want you to multiply x plus 2 multiplied by x plus 4. So I want you to use that method to multiply. So what you're doing, you're multiplying x plus 2. Now you know how to do it already, a different way, but I want you to learn this way. It's going to be easier for the long division, I think. Right, okay, when you multiplied, what did you get in the first box? X squared. Yeah, sorry, my pen is gone. So when you multiplied the first box, you got x squared. This one isn't great either. What you get in the next box? Plus 2x. What you get in this box? Plus 4x. And what you get in this box? Plus 8. Because you have 2 multiplied by 4. Okay? Are we alright with that? So you get x squared plus 2x plus 4x plus 8. So that would be x squared plus 6x plus 8 is your answer. Is that okay? So I'm going to bring you back to page 32. And I want you to use the box. Now we've done these sums already, but I want you to practice using the box because it's going to be our basis for division, because I tried division the other way and I don't think it was working, so I think I'm going to try it this way. So use the box to multiply numbers 16, 19, 22, 25, 28 and 31. Okay, and if I show you the page, you'll know what number I'm in this column. Okay, so I want you to use the box that's on page 32. Now I know you can do it the other way, so don't do the other way. I want you to use the box method to multiply. Okay, so we can learn the method. Okay, and for the love of God, bring voices the next day. Will you clean your tables before you leave?